There's no substitute for strength, and there's no excuse for the lack of it. Drew Petersen, strength and conditioning coach, Humboldt State University. Strength and conditioning is the background of any successful athletic program. It is the base of success in athletics. The stronger you get, the faster you can run, the quicker you can move, the higher you can jump, the less susceptible to injuries you are. All of our athletes understand the importance of strength training as it relates to performance, strength and conditioning as it relates to athletic excellence. With football, it differs from the fact of the physical, violent nature of the game. The only way we can duplicate the forces that your body produces on the football field, the loads that your body absorb on the football field, is through heavy-duty strength and conditioning. Training at loads of 85% or more of your maximum on the platforms, in the squat rack, pushing sleds, multi-joint, multi-muscle exercises that duplicate those forces produced and loads absorbed. So with football, it's different in that it's a sense of survival. You're preparing your body for 3.5 months of survival in the toughest environment imaginable. With football, you have to enjoy the process, because the process is 9 months of training to prepare your body for competition. There's not a lot of thrills in the fact of getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and putting your body through the rigors of our strength and conditioning program, but the reward is the adaptations of your body. The only way we can duplicate what goes on the football field is what we do with our off-season training. So if we can make that even more difficult than the actual game itself, when competition comes around, it's a breeze. You're ready to go. So the goal of our program is that when you step on the field in August, you're as fast, as powerful, as strong, as conditioned as is physically possible. There's no substitute for strength, and there's no excuse for the lack of it. So it's the determination and the dedication to your year-round training program that sets us apart. The typical year for a Humboldt State University football player is we'll take it from the completion of the season. Season's over, your body's beat up, you've gone through the rigors of a 10 and hopefully maybe 11, 12, 13, 14 game season. And immediately after the season, we have a 2-week off period where your body is recovering from those demands and healing up, and you're getting emotionally, physically, and spiritually refreshed. As they come back off of that 2-week period, we go into just a base program to where we set your body up and give it a foundation, develop work capacity that we can use for the spring semester. So as you go home over Christmas break, it's a real basic program to establish that work capacity. Once you get back from Christmas time, winter break, and the spring semester starts, that's known in the profession as winter conditioning. And it is an 8-week program, a strength and conditioning boot camp, if you will. And our design during that time is to set a foundation for success in spring practice throughout the summer and into the season. So it's the early morning, 6 a.m. wake-up calls, 4 or 5 days a week of lifting, 3 or 4 days a week of running, all in preparation for spring football. Spring football comes around and we back off and we go into more of a maintenance phase and keep everything going. Strength is always the base of our athletic performance, so you'll never get too far away from the weight room. We might get outside of that box, but the box always comes along with us. So during spring football, it's 2, maybe 3 sessions a week just to maintain the gains that we made during winter conditioning. As soon as spring football is over, we have another discretionary period where it's about a 2-week period off to where your body's refreshed and recovered and relaxed. And then we spend the end of the semester in the spring reestablishing that base that we built during winter conditioning. It's a 2 or 3 week series of high volume type training to set us up in the summer. In the summer, what we want to do is peak out everything that we've been working all year. We want to use that to really emphasize speed, agility, and quickness and position specific work without de-emphasizing the strength training. So the goal is that when you step on the field in August, you're physically prepared. You're ready to perform at the most high level that you can expect. During the season, a couple of different scenarios. Travel squad players, usually the O-line, D-line, and linebackers, we call them the heavies, will lift 3 days a week, sometimes 4, depending if we're home or away. And the idea there is to maintain the strength that we've built up. As you lose strength, you get slower, you get weaker. You're not the athlete that you could be. So we try to maintain that during the season with pretty high intensity but lower volume. The skill guys, it's always 2 days a week, and we'll have a heavier weight training day, not a lot of volume, and then a speed weight training day. And then the red shirts during the season, it is basically a boot camp for strength development. We've taken this time to get you going and teach you the techniques that you'll be using the next 3 or 4 years. It's a technical period, it's an adaptation to period, but it's also a highly developmental period, and we lift our red shirts 5 days a week. We rotate between the morning and the afternoon depending on practice schedules, and we get our red shirts physically developed so that when the springtime comes around they can jump right into the rigors of our program.